Hi people, we are looking at a surprise release from a Chinese manufacturer, and this is a 1/9 scale. I don't know where you can see it. I will zoom in closer a bit later. A 1/9 scale of the Kawasaki Ninja H2R. Now this is really powerful bikes, and it's really popular with modeler when the Tamiya released the 1/12 scale model of it, and now someone in China came up with a 1/9 scale. So we'll have a look at it now. And just looking at the side of the box, we can see who is the manufacturer of this kit. It's Mang from China, and it's 1/9 scale. And this is a special edition one because the model is supposed to be pre-paint, or they call pre-color edition. And well, the box has not much of illustration of the kit, so we'll have a look at it now. And let's open the box. Okay, first thing we see is a chrome sprue. Pretty normal kind of chrome. It contains the exhaust system, and also I believe this is the stand for the bike. And next we have the main frame. This one is actually molded in the metallic green, so it's not painted, it's molded in the metallic green color plastic. The third small sprue is rubber. This is black rubber which contain of the seat. This is the backrest and a couple of the plastic pieces. I don't know what those are. And then the fourth sprue is the main gas tank, and also some of the fairing. It's black chromed, which trying to mimic the real car. The real car has the gas tank and also the fairing chrome, a dark chrome paint job. So this is trying to mimic it. And the fifth sprue is the engine. The engine component. We'll have a look at it later. Okay, the sixth sprue has pre-painted and front fork and some of the engine parts. This must be the oil pan. And then we have the the chain link, and also some of the brake calipers. And this frame contains of some black plastic parts. The swing arm for the rear wheel, part of the frame, the radiator, and the gear, the driving gears. And we have the tire, two tires, a pre-painted spring, a screwdriver with the same green color. And then we also have some black plastic parts of the engine. I don't know why some are silver, some are not, but that's how it comes. And then a polishing cloth, decal, clear parts, with the signal light already painted clear red, and then a whole bunch of screws. Here we go. Oh, this is the turbo fan. Painted in, this one is painted in red, brick red to be exact. And then we have two pieces of photo etch. Two pieces of photo etches. One has two metal mesh in black. Another one are the brick disc. They look kind of nice. Okay, then there's this box here. I'll open the box and see what's inside. Oh, okay. This one has, because this is the painted version. It contains all the main parts that should be finished in carbon fiber. And this is the main cowling. We'll have a closer look at these parts later. Put this back on. Okay. Put this aside. Okay, let's look at the instruction. The instruction is very much a booklet in A4 size. And the first page, first of all, we have a nice photo of the real bike, and then we have the sprue count, and also here we have the specific parts that are already painted with carbon fiber effect, and then here are the tools required to build the kit, and then of course the decals, the polishing cloth, the photo etch parts, and the screwdriver. And then we come to the introduction of the engine. Very nice photo. And then we start with building the engine block, and with the air intakes and everything. Then we have a look at the frame of the bike, which is painted in famous Kawasaki metallic green. And then we come to the building of the frame with the rear rocker arm for the rear wheel, and also the brake disc, and then then we come to a shot of the chain, the driving chain, and the gear, the driving gear and the chain. And we come to the building of that particular part. Here is the building of the exhaust system, and then the radiator, the brake disc, the front fork of the front wheel, and also the flaring for the wheel cover, whatever they call it. And here is a detailed shot of the front brake, and looking at it from the back of it. And then it's the completion of the model, putting the gas tank on, and then the tail structure. And then here is the air intake. I think it's for the cooling of the engine. And then we have a nice close-up shot of the cowling. And then we come to the installation of the cowling, and also the side fairing bodywork. And yes, it also comes with a stand for the bike. And then we come to the decal placement page. Well, it is a pretty nice, printed instruction, full color with a touch of green on everything, which is again very unique for Kawasaki. Okay, let's look at the parts, the sprue one by one. Okay, first of all is the frame. The molding is kind of nice. There's not much sink mark, and I believe this is a excuse me, I was wrong. I mean, this is painted with the green, metallic green paint, and the painting is quite nice. I don't know what to do with all the molding seams and everything. Some area the molding seams are quite obvious. Maybe you have to repaint it if you try to clean up all the mold seam, all the parting lines and all that. But all in all, it's quite nice. It's not as shiny as one hoped for. It's not varnished. It's just paint with a gloss paint. It's quite smooth. Second sprue, we come to the chrome parts. This is mainly the exhaust system and also the bike stand. This is a typical kind of chrome that comes with the plastic model. It's very shiny. For me, it's like too shiny, and I always repaint it with chrome paint. With the chrome paint available today, we can easily repaint it. So this is this part came off. It's supposed to go here. Yeah, it's kind of tight. Well, I have to leave it out. Well, for me, this is nicely chromed, plated with black chrome, which is actually what the real car is like. And the molding is good, and the plating is quite nice. For me, it's a bit too shiny for a scale model, but what can I say? You don't need to paint it. It's already painted, so it's really nice. And then we come to the sprue with silver painted, and also the little green rim on the wheel. And you can look at it. The silver, the aluminum paint is kind of dull, and it's better to paint it yourself. I would, if I am to build this model, I will paint this again, myself. But then the molding is again, quite nice. The details are there, but if you ask me, comparing with the Tamiya kit, this might not be as well detailed as the Tamiya kit. Of course, it's a different scale. People maybe really like the largest scale of 1:9 scale, and then yeah, it's okay. The clutch, it's kind of toy-like. It's really neat aftermarket parts from people like Top Studio or Studio 27. And then we come to the engine sprue. This again pre-painted in a metallic, bluish metallic, darkish, a dark bluish metallic paint. So I'm not sure if this is the real color of the engine, but it's quite nicely painted. The paint looked thin, and all the details showed up crisp and sharp. So the paint itself is quite thin, and it looked quite nice. Don't believe the details is as good as Tamiya's again, but then it is, you know, it is quite good. Okay, we come to the sprue of, now I know what they call it, the swing arm and the air intake. I think this is part of the air intake, and then of the cowling, and then this is the part of the frame and the radiator and the support of the seat, and some other parts like the gears and the handle. Again, the casting is quite nice, or the injection is quite nice, and I don't think those are sing mark. So all in all, it's quite nicely molded. And they come to the sprue with the engine parts that should be black. Molding is nice. There's some injection mark there, but I guess it's it will not show because it's I think it's underneath the seat or the tail-like structure, so it won't be seen. And then of course the other parts of the engine, I think this is the, I don't know what they call it, but again the molding is quite nice. And then we have the seats. It's actually molded with rubber. Again, quite nicely molded, except, you know, there's some strainy effect on the plastic because the way the rubber floats in the mold, it shows. Not very obvious, but if you look closely you can see it. And then the backrest, still quite nice. And then we have the pre-painted turbo charge. It's painted red. Now it's painted on one side, so I'm not sure if the seam will show up once the two parts put together. And also it's in a brick red color, and the paint's coverage is not very solid. At the very deep area of the molding, you can see it's still a little bit in black, you know, still in the plastic color, which is black. It may look good because it adds a little more three-dimensional effect to the parts, but it's good. It's good. And then lastly, we have the wheels, which the tire is smooth tire, no tread. I guess all the motorbike tires are like that. It's more like a racing tires. And then the green coil spring. I have a feeling the green is kind of dark, not bright enough, because the spring itself is kind of thin, so you can add the green doesn't come out as strong. Maybe the spring itself is in black color before it's painted. And then a couple of tubings. They're usually kind of thick, not quite out of scale usually. So these are the tires. I don't bother to take them out. And then we have the decal. It's quite nicely printed, nothing special. Not sure the green is bright enough. And then we have some carbon fiber decals as well. It's okay, it's sharp. The registration is good. And we have another small piece, which it's metal stickers. We all see this before, so it's metal stickers, and if you look closely, it's nice and detailed. I'm not sure the small one can really stick to the model firmly, but you know, it's all the nuts and bolts are all there in metal stickers. So, and then we come to the photo etch parts. First of all, it's the brake disc. It's protected both sides with clear film, and it's kind of thick, so it's quite nice because it's more three-dimensional than usual, you know, those thin photo etch parts. So this carry a bit of weight, and the edge is quite nice, except I'm not sure if the brake disc itself should be, you know, should be like sandblaster effect. I mean, usually they are pretty smooth with sort of a circular texture, you know, because of the brake disc clamping on it. It usually has this circular texture on it, but this one has a sandblast effect on one side and then nothing on the other side. And I think if you want to build this, to make this look right, you need to sort of set it on a power drill or a lathe or something. And the other piece contained the black metal meshes. These two pieces are quite nicely etched. The pattern is nice and it's quite, you know, thin and delicate, and it's already pre-painted black. So I think these are quite nice. Yeah. Well, of course, this is the polishing cloth, yeah, in green color. Yeah. And lastly, we come to the main attraction, I think, of this kit: the carbon fiber pre-painted part. Let's look at it one by one. And this is the main cowling. Air intake. Here are some other parts that's been finished with carbon fiber. These are actually quite nice. And then here are two other parts with the carbon fiber finished. Actually, looking at them, they have different scale effect on them. One is thicker, one is thinner. And looking at the parts, I think they are done with hydro dip. So it's quite nice, unlike decal. and it's one continuous texture, so they are quite nice. They are really nice, and maybe all you need is give them a clear coat. The finishing is not uniform on all sides. Okay, what we just saw was Meng's 1/9 scale Kawasaki Ninja H2R, and it's the pre-colored edition. In Hong Kong, this one retail at about $80, a little less than $80. And I understand that's a lawn pre-colored edition, which is slightly less, and it's around $64. If you ask me as a modeler, I will probably paint the model myself. And only consideration is the carbon fiber parts, which at this pre-colored edition, the parts are being done with hydro dip, which is an industrial type of decaling. And for us, if we want to buy a custom set of carbon fiber and put it onto the model, it probably costs more than $15 US. So that's something you need to think about. Anyways, I think the kit is quite nice, but it's a bit pricey, and it's up to modeler decide whether they want to settle for a smaller scale Tamiya kit or a larger scale 1/9 scale kit. And anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.